Hey guys and gals, DNA Plays here. Today we're going to be going over my favorite starter Pokemon from every generation. Now these are just my opinions and personal favorites as opposed to which ones are actually statistically the best. If you like this video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's dive into my favorite starters from each region. First up on this list is my favorite Kanto starter. Kanto is the region featured in the Gen 1 games and made an appearance in the Gen 2 games, and is the first time a great deal of us had to make the hard choice on which Pokemon would accompany us on our long journey. Taking into account all the starters in Kanto games, that being Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and Eevee, I'm going to have to choose Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a grass poison type Pokemon which is wildly helpful at the beginning of any Kanto playthrough. He's able to go through Brock and Misty with relative ease, and his poison typing makes him immune against the annoying Weedles that are found in the Viridian Forest. Once you get to the late game, Venusaur fails against Sabrina and Blaine, but by then you should really have other Pokemon that have better typings for those situations. All in all, I think Bulbasaur has the best typing for a Kanto playthrough and is a cute little cabbage to boot, and that's why he is my favorite Kanto starter. Next up is my favorite Jojo starter. Jojo is the region featured in Generation 2 with the choice of 3 Pokemon, those being the Fire-type Cyndaquil, the Grass-type Chikorita, and the Water-type Totodile. For me, the choice is easy. Totodile is my favorite Pokemon, so I choose him hands down over the other 2 every time. Totodile's typing isn't great for the early game. Sprout Tower is the first obstacle most people face, and it's chock full of Bellsprouts, a Grass-type Pokemon that ruins dear Totodile's life every time with Vine Whip. Feraligatr is fairly beefy and learns the move Slash, an attack with a high crit chance, so he's able to deal neutral damage to just about anything that he goes against. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Feraligatr learns Ice Fang. This attack is wildly helpful late game. This helps Feraligatr take Claire out no problem, and deals with Lance at the Pokemon League like he's nothing. And for these reasons, Totodile is my favorite starter from the Johto region. The next region up for discussion is Hoenn. Hoenn is the region featured in Generation 3 and gave players the choice between the Fire-type Pokemon Torchic, the Grass-type Pokemon Treecko, and the Water-type Pokemon Mudkip. Out of these 3, my favorite is Treecko. Treecko is an adorable little lizard critter that turns into a giant adorable lizard critter. Grass typing is always hit or miss early game depending on what the first gym is. Hoenn's first gym is a Ground-type gym, perfect for choosing Treecko. Hoenn is also covered in water, and one of the major antagonist teams are water-type users, making him super effective against a number of story battles in the game as well. For these reasons, Treecko is my favorite Hoenn starter. The next region is Sinnoh. Sinnoh is the region featured in the Gen 4 games and gives players the choice between the Fire-type Chimchar, the Water-type Piplup, and the Grass-type Turtwig. Out of these 3, my favorite is Turtwig. He's an adorable little grass turtle with a tiny little branch coming out of him. In the early game, he is quite good, being that the first gym in Sinnoh is a rock-type gym. There aren't many times that using Turtwig will cause you to struggle throughout the main story, as by the time you get to any real challenge, you should have a decent party put together. For these reasons, Turtwig is my favorite Sinnoh starter. Up next is the Unova region. This is the region featured in the Gen 5 games and gives players the choice between the Fire-type Tepig, the Grass-type Snivy, and the Water-type Oshawott. Out of these 3, I'm going to have to go with Tepig as my favorite. This is a cute little fire pig who evolves up into a mean-looking fire boar. Fire types are rarely bad starters, as most of your early game Pokemon are bugs and normal-type Pokemon that you can deal with very easily. Early game wise, the first gym always pits you against their weakness anyway, but you should be able to get around that pretty easily. Late game, there are a few challenges that a fire-type Pokemon can't overcome by itself, but by then your party should be built well enough that it shouldn't matter anyway. For these reasons, Tepig is my favorite Unova starter. Next up is the Kalos region. Kalos is the region featured in the Gen 6 games and gives players the choice between the Fire-type Fennekin, the Water-type Froakie, and the Grass-type Chespin. Out of these 3, my favorite has to go to Froakie. Froakie is so cute. I love frogs, and I played with them a lot when I was a little kid, so I'm automatically drawn to most Pokemon that are frog-like. His evolved forms are really cool, and I love the ninja aspect. It's really unique and awesome. Also, his signature move is the coolest sounding attack in all of Pokemon. Their shuriken just makes him sound so dangerous. For these reasons, Froakie is my favorite Kalos starter. The next region up for discussion is Alola. Alola is the region featured in the Gen 7 games and gives players the choice between the Fire-type Pokemon Litten, the Grass-type Pokemon Rowlet, and the Water-type Pokemon Popplio. My favorite of these three is Rowlet, hands down. I love owls, and Rowlet is super adorable little owl in a tiny little bow tie. Once he evolves, he gains Ghost as a second typing, and that is one of my favorite types of them all. For these reasons, Rowlet is my favorite Alola starter. And the final region up for discussion is the Galar region. Galar is the region featured in the Gen 8 games and gives players the choice between the Fire-type Scorbunny, the Grass-type Grookey, and the Water-type Sobble. Sobble wins this contest hands down. As with other choices on this list, Sobble is a lizard, and I like lizards. I also love how Sobble is just so emo all the time. Makes you just want to pick him up and cuddle him to stop his crying. Once he evolves into Inteleon, he becomes a fierce, cold-blooded sniper bent on destroying his opponents, and it shows that even the most timid and fragile of beings can turn into something really awesome. For these reasons, Sobble is my favorite Galar starter. Alright guys and gals, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you've enjoyed yourself, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more. In the comment section, let me know your favorite starters and why they are your favorite. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.